All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's video. Now, in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is something that a lot of you guys have been interested in, and a lot of you guys ask me questions about this. You always ask me, should I get a tub? Should I get a can? What's the difference? Which one is better? And that is why I wanted to make this video today. Now, I'm not alone on this video today. I have somebody that is far more experienced in the can area than me. I'm way more of a powder guy, and this guy absolutely loves cans. So his name is Caffeineman. Do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and give us a quick summary, my guy?
But yeah, on my channel, I go over everything caffeine related, or all things caffeine related, and it primarily focuses on energy drinks because that's what I get requested for a lot. But I also do some caffeine safety videos, some informative caffeine videos, and occasionally caffeinated products as well.
So would you say that you're more of a can man?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to the drinks, I end up doing cans. I think it's primarily what my audience is interested in because there's a lot of pre-workout drinks and stuff, and it just ends up being a bit, easier to have the cans. When it comes to the powders, I never really got into powders too much on my channel because from the way my channel was going, I basically needed to focus and niche down on certain things, and I'm always behind on my videos because there's so many new drinks coming out. So if I were to expand into the powder world, there would be so many powders. I mean, think about how many powders G Fuel has, and then if I started doing that, I got probably like a 40% pre-workout crowd, probably like a 30% gamer crowd, and then just everyone else that likes energy drinks. So if I were to expand into powders, then I'd probably be getting tons of requests for like pre-workout powders and pre-workout supplements, and then all the different gamers. So I end up having to niche down a bit.
Yeah, so I'm curious, what is your favorite G Fuel can at the moment? What's your favorite flavor?
There was a tie for a little while. The sour, when they first came out, they had the 4-pack, and I was a big fan of the sour cherry. I thought the sour cherry was really good. I didn't know how big a fan of cherry I was until I started my channel, and I was never even that big of a fan of sour, but that sour cherry was really good. But then when they came out with the second variety pack, they came out with the sour chug rug, and I was like, wow, this is like, blue raspberry is one of my favorite flavors for energy drinks. And then it was a sour blue raspberry is basically how I described it to everybody. And then, but then I also had the Bahama Mama, and that is absolutely, that one is definitely my favorite because I'm a huge coconut Red Bull fan, but I like coconut drinks, and that one was, the way I described it to people, in my opinion, was it was sort of like an orange creamsicle flavor with a bit of coconut and tropical feel to it, and that's one of my personal favorites. I know it's not everyone's favorite because not everyone likes coconut, but it was my favorite.
Yeah, that definitely shows that there's different taste buds and opinions out there, because for me personally, the coconut is way too strong in the can, but it's just right in the tub. So it's interesting, we definitely do have, people have different taste buds, and it definitely shows. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I think it is time to start to go ahead and talk about the pros and the cons. So I am going to be talking about mainly the pros of why I think tubs can be a better choice, and Caffeineman is going to be talking about some of the pros of the cans and why he thinks they can be a little bit better for you. So you can get my side about why I'd recommend tubs, and you can get his side about why he thinks cans are right for you, so it can better help you decide which one you would want to pick up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so the first thing that I wanted to go ahead and go over is how the tubs do get more for your money. So when it comes to a tub, it honestly depends. Most often that you could get a tub on Amazon for about $29, or you can use code SHOCK or any other 30% G Fuel code to get a tub on G Fuel. It depends on if it's a collector's box or if it's on sale, but anywhere it can be from around $27 to $25 on G Fuel's website to get a tub of G Fuel, and you're getting about 45 to 50 servings in that. I've done multiple videos where I've measured the exact amount of scoops that you get, and that is a huge bang for your buck in my personal opinion when it comes to the servings and what you get for your money. So my first pro of the tubs would have to be just like the bang for your buck that you get. So I'll go ahead and let Caffeineman talk about one of his pros of the cans, or in general, whatever he would like to start with when it comes to the cans.
I mean, I could agree with you about price. I mean, when it comes to value, that's a big deal for everybody. But when it comes to one of my big reasons for going for the cans, it's just based on convenience. I mean, I'm a busy person. I got a lot of stuff going on. So when I'm late for work and I'm running out of the house, I don't have time to grab my shaker here, open it up. Look at this thing. It's got the spring here. I got to put it in. I got to measure out how much water I need. I got to put it back in. I gotta scoop the stuff in. I gotta shake it up. And I'm just like, you know what? I can go and basically go to my fridge, grab a can, run out the door, drink it in my car. And or let's say I'm already out, if I need a drink, guess what? I just go to the store. I grab a drink from the store and I'm good to go. I mean, that's why they call them RTDs. They're ready to drink. And it's just so much more convenient and it's a time saver. So that's my first point.
There has been times where, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, when I had a few G Fuel cans in the fridge, it's not a lot of work to make a G Fuel, but I did grab that G Fuel can and opened it up. I gotta say, I have to agree with Caffeineman. There's some times where you just want that can, I gotta say.
Yeah, I mean, I actually even have the point that, some people are just lazy. I mean, I can be a little lazy too. But, a lot of people just don't want to put the time and work into it. And I actually have a little story for you. I don't know if you knew this, but I'm a big tea drinker. And I was such a big tea drinker. I bought all different kinds of tea bags and stuff. And there was a store, I don't know if it's not around me anymore, but it was called Teavana. And it actually got bought out by Starbucks. And I got this right here. I'm showing it here. I got this Teavana thing. I went out and I bought this special container that keeps it hot for like 12 hours. And you open it up, and when you open it up, it's got this like sifter in here. Take it out. And basically, you take the sifter out, and then you have this separate can here. And you open it up, you got your scooper, and you get these like tea leaves and stuff. It's all dried up tea leaves. And then you put it in this sifter here, and then you put it back in here, and then you let it steep, you wait for it and stuff. And then once you're done drinking it, you actually have to clean this thing out. And cleaning and getting leaves out of this sifter, it ended up being so much work that it's been probably like 8 or 10 years that I actually bought this canister that was really expensive. And it's still full because it's just too much work. And I think that it's actually a good point that a lot of people don't want to put the work or even the cleanup involved, because I'm sure from your shakers what happens if you leave them out too long without cleaning them.
Oh boy, let me tell you, I've left some G Fuel shakers in the garage for a few weeks, and oh boy. Oh, yeah, that did not go down well. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my second pro when it comes to the tubs, and that would have to be, there's just more antioxidants and vitamins when it comes to the tubs. There are antioxidants and there are amino acids and vitamins in the cans, but when it comes to the tubs, they are in that raw form. You actually get those raw fruit powders and extracts right in the tubs, and overall, it's actually interesting. Sometimes you can get some of your vitamins fully just from the G Fuel tub. Now, there is, like I said, some of those in the cans, but there is much more in the tubs when it comes to those. So overall, my second one, I really wanted to let you know that there's a lot more vitamins and amino acids and antioxidants when it comes to the tubs.
I think that you're right that it does have a lot of ingredients and that you are getting more out of it. But I mean, the cans, they also have a lot of great ingredients. I mean, when I look at the ingredients list on the can, I'm like, wow, there's a lot of stuff in these drinks. So I'm not sure how much more of a difference the amount makes, because how much is your body actually going to use of those ingredients. Now for me, my next point is basically I've said it in a lot of my videos, and my thoughts have changed on it just a slight amount, but I'm not a huge fan of carbonation. Anything that's too high in carbonation, you know, it makes you burp. It bothers some people's stomach because it's too much. So I'm a fan of lighter carbonation. So I actually wanted to like the powders. So I actually ended up trying them. I ended up getting a variety pack of the powders. And I also actually, you know, not to help prove your case, but I actually like the less amount of caffeine, because 300 milligrams in a can, I believe 300 is it's just too much. So if you can actually get 150 milligrams, which is what the regular G Fuel has for the powders, you can actually have 2 of those a day. So you're going to be getting your 12 to 16 ounces of you know, G Fuel powders. You can get 2 of those as opposed to just 1 can. But at the same time, when I actually had the powders, and this was just a personal experience of mine, I could taste just a touch, just an itty bitty bit of like a little grittiness of the powder. And you definitely don't get that with the cans because of the carbonation. And I found that the powders, I think the instructions, you can correct me, are like 8 to 12 ounces of water.
Yeah, so 12 to 16 ounces of water with a few ice cubes per 1 scoop.
Yeah, so I actually ended up going up to 16 ounces with a couple of ice cubes, because the flavors, they were, not that they were too strong, but they actually started to bother my throat a little bit. Like, I'm not sure if they were just a little bit too acidic. And then once I was done drinking the whole entire thing, some of the flavors, just 1 or 2 of them, you know, they bothered my stomach a little bit. So that's just my personal experience. I don't know if anyone else has those issues, but for me personally, it ended up being a situation where I'm like, oh, I don't really like the powders. And I ended up having 5 of the 10, because I thought maybe it was just like one of the flavors that might have been a little more acidic than the others. So I went with some of the flavors that would be less acidic, but I still end up having the same problem with that. So I end up liking the cans better, because they tend to be that little bit of carbonation that's in them, or that medium amount of carbonation, tends to work better than sort of the powdery, gritty flavor that I get.
I gotcha. Okay, so wow, so I mean, I guess that's kind of Caffeineman's second pro right there. The kind of the powderiness that he likes, that the cans don't really have that powderiness. But I'll let you go ahead. I didn't really let you do it, but go ahead and talk about another pro that you have for the cans, and then I'll go ahead and talk about another one that I have for the tubs.
I don't know, I think you actually might have more pros for the tubs than I do, because overall it was just gonna be a matter of, you know, convenience for people, for the availability to get them. And then just a matter of how much work it takes and time it takes to put into them for such a busy world that we're in. And then just a matter of, it's going to be people's personal preference, whether they like carbonation or they like the powders better. But basically, it really just comes down to my biggest point, I guess, is going to be you know, convenience.
Alrighty guys, so I'm going to go ahead and talk about a few more of my pros that I have for the tubs. So the next pro that I had for the tubs is they're just more customizable when it comes to them. Now, if that is in terms of flavors, I think it's really cool that you're able to mix flavors. Yes, you can mix flavors with the cans, but there's not as many flavors out there at the moment. So that's another one of my pros. I just love being able to mix and match flavors, create your own flavors, and I just think it's awesome how customizable they are. Now, another thing when it comes to the tubs, and this may change in the future, but currently the tubs are actually available worldwide. The cans, sadly, they are not. I'm not sure what it is. I have heard that there is some caffeine restrictions in other countries, and that's why the cans cannot be shipped worldwide at the moment. But at the moment, I just think it's a big pro that G Fuel tubs are able to go basically anywhere in the world, so anyone can have them. But unfortunately, when it comes to the cans right now, they're only available in the USA.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point to make, is that there are caffeine restrictions. The U.S. is one of the only countries that doesn't have any caffeine restrictions. So when it comes to your pre-workouts that started with 300 milligrams and now the G Fuel with 300 milligrams, you're only going to be able to get those in the U.S. So a lot of other countries have restrictions. I know there's restrictions in Canada. I get people from the U.K. and they actually just started releasing some other pre-workout energy drinks that are 300 in the U.S., but they're between 150 and 200 in other countries. So the only way G Fuel would be able to get the cans in other countries is if they went down to like a 150 or 200 milligrams. And to be honest, I would absolutely love it if they just went 200 across the board. Then they wouldn't have to worry. Then they wouldn't have to worry about sending it to other countries or the US. They wouldn't have to make two different products. They could just get them all at one time by going down to 200, because like I said, 300 it's a bit much, and at 200 I could have 2 a day, because 400 is the max amount by the Mayo Clinic and other medical websites.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, surprisingly, Caffeineman, that's another point on my list. As I said, right here on my list is one of the main points that I had was I feel like the tubs are more of a steady, slow, good energy, but when I drink the cans, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I only would have maybe half of a G Fuel can, because there's only been a few instances where I've had a full G Fuel can, and it's the only time where G Fuel has given me too much energy in a short amount of time with that 300 milligrams that comes in the cans. And I'm able to actually customize my caffeine with the tubs as well. You know, if I want that 150, if I want 100, I can lower the scoop a little bit. If I want a little bit more. So that's another thing when it comes to the tubs. I really do like that sort of slower, steady energy that comes from the tubs.
Yeah, that's a great point, and I have to kind of almost agree with you there that I've always said it in all my videos that 300 tends to be a little bit too much. I was curious why G Fuel went with the 300, because 300 started out with the other energy drinks like Bang and Rain. And it's because they're pre-workout. So 300 milligrams was meant to give you a punch of power so that you get that boost of energy for when you're working out. And I'm guessing that because 300 was starting to become popular, I'm guessing that's why G Fuel put it in there. And you know what? If you're going to be gaming all night, playing Fortnite all night long, you might want that boost of power. And I found that the G Fuels, even though they do give you that energy, because 300 is a lot in your system, the nootropics that are in there do make it a little bit more of a steady energy than the pre-workout drinks that don't really give you the nootropics.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely agree. I personally think, you know, I fully support G Fuel and everything they do, but one of the things that I really would like to see change is I think instead of having two different G Fuel cans where one's 150 and one's 300 or 200, 300, I think we should have an overall edit, like a version 2 of the G Fuel cans that come out, where it's, you know, like a balanced 200 or 150, and it can be available worldwide. And I think a lot of people would agree with me on that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm one of the people that agree as well. I believe that it might have been a Canadian study that they did, that when they looked at caffeine and the effectiveness of people working out, 200 was the number. There's a decent amount of pre-workouts that also just do 200. They didn't go up to 300. And when it comes to nootropic energy drinks, I've done several nootropic energy drink reviews as well, and most of the nootropic energy drinks do stay at 200 milligrams. So I would love it if G Fuel looked into that more to see, and even do market research to see what people prefer, if they prefer a 200 can or the 300 is better for them or not.
No, definitely. And one of my last points, ladies and gentlemen, that I had on here was I wanted to just let you know that the tubs last 4 years. That's usually what the expiration date after you buy a new tub is. So when you get a G Fuel tub, that tub's gonna last 4 years. So you can have a whole bunch of flavors up on your desk or whatever, and you can go between each one of them all the time, and you're still gonna have tons of time to have that tub. I'm not sure exactly how long the cans last. I'm sure Caffeineman has a little bit more insight when it comes to cans and how long those last. But that is my last pro for the tubs.
Yeah, they usually put like a 1 to 2 year shelf life on them for the dates. Some companies do 1 year, but I know most of them can usually last up to 2 years. But you know, some companies might want to try and, you know, sell them a little bit faster, so they put a little bit of an earlier date, or certain ingredients in some of the pre-workout drinks could actually become less effective in a shorter amount of time. But I don't know about that argument of yours for 4 years. Who's going to wait 4 years to drink their delicious G Fuel tubs? Come on.
That's true. That's true. Oh, but overall, that's what I have. Caffeineman, is there any other points that you had to talk about before we go ahead and conclude this?
You know, I was just going to say that, you know, when it comes to the G Fuel cans, even though the powders do have those benefits that you're talking about, and the cans have the benefits that I'm talking about, even though G Fuel has been well known for basically being able to have their powders, it's what they started with, it's what they continue to going to be successful with. I feel that the cans, you know, I think the cans, I'm going out on the record here, that I'm going to say within the next 2 years, if they keep making such delicious flavors that they've been making, I mean, they've been killing it with their cans. When I rate these drinks, when I do a full line review, G Fuel's been one of the only companies, one of the top companies that consistently gets great scores because of their great flavors. And I think that they're going to surpass their powder sales in the next 2 years if they keep doing what they're doing, because they're getting into 7-Elevens, they're going to be getting into Sheets, they're already in Sheets, they're in Noria, they're getting into Walmart, they're getting into all these stores. Now, by getting into all these stores, they're going to be opening themselves up to a much, much wider audience. I mean, Bang used to just be pre-workout, but everyone is drinking it now because it's readily available in stores and they have great flavors. So you're going to end up having G Fuel getting into all these stores, and people are going to be like, what's this sour chug rug? What's this Bahama Mama? They're going to be trying it out, and they're going to be getting, I mean, they're already huge on social media. Everyone already knows it, but they're not going to be marketed to gamers anymore. They're going to be marketing to everybody, and once they start doing that, they're going to start killing it, and they're going to be selling more than their powders. They're still going to have their hardcore powder audience, but they're going to be selling more cans, and when that happens, it's just going to prove my point that I'm right in this argument.
maybe, and yeah, another thing, Caffeineman, you know, that I'm gonna be honest with you, you know, going into 7-Eleven or Walmart and seeing my man PewDiePie on a G Fuel can, that's gonna rack in some huge sales, Caffeineman. Like, I'm telling you, like, it's ridiculous. No other energy drink in the store has had that ever.
Exactly, and even, you know, even Roman Atwood, you know, all your favorite YouTubers and all your favorite FaZe Clan people and stuff, people are going to go in there, they're going to see that recognizable face, and they're just going to buy it for the sake of supporting their own favorite gamer, you know, favorite YouTuber, favorite gamer, you know. So you're going to have a huge audience. You're going to have the gaming audience, you're going to have the YouTube, the Twitch, you're going to have all those different audiences going in there, and then you're just going to have regular people picking it up.
Definitely, ladies and gentlemen, and you know, when it comes to the cans and the tubs, I'm not here to tell you which one you should buy. I'm here to help you decide which one you should buy, and that's what Caffeineman's here for as well with me today. You know, I'm not trying to tell you the tub is the only one that you should be buying, or the can is the only one that you should be buying. It's totally up to you and your opinion after you hear all this information. And I just, you know, I really want to thank Caffeineman for coming out here and talking, because I know he has a lot of knowledge when it comes to cans and stuff, so I really wanted to get him on here to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate being here. I appreciate being able to go through the pros and the cons of both of them. I was actually just sitting here thinking about one of your earlier pros that I wasn't able to combat, but it was basically your perception of value. that you're getting a lot more value by getting the tubs. But there are going to be some people that, you know, they don't want to buy a full tub. So what they can do is they can go to the store and they can just grab a can. It's going to be a lot cheaper for them to try out that flavor. And then if they like it, they'll be like, oh, you know, hey, maybe I can try the powder version of this as well. Yeah, I mean, I plan on basically, I've reviewed all the G Fuels so far, but the thing is, I mean, it's been probably a year and a half or so between the first variety pack that they came out with, the second variety pack, and then just these new ones that they're coming out with. So it's been a while since I had all of them. So I'm actually planning on doing a video probably next week that I'm going to be trying all the G Fuel cans, taste testing each one of them, and I'm going to actually rank them in order just to see if they're all the same ranking, because there's been so much time in between. So I'm going to give you all the rankings of the 11 cans that they have out right now, and then I'm even going to actually mix them all together and see what they taste like when you have all of them mixed together.
Definitely. Let us know down in the comments, guys. Did you decide, like, did you decide to pick up a tub or a can today? I know the cans are definitely getting more readily available, and that's another thing that Caffeineman mentioned. Go out and try a Blue Ice can, and if you really like it, maybe they'll pick up a tub because they want that same flavor, but they want it for cheaper and some more value. So I definitely can agree what Caffeineman said about that.
Yeah, and you know what? If they're going to be leaving comments down below, I think they should probably also comment on who they think is going to be right in this argument we seem to be having, this debate. Because, you know, people love a good argument. So there's going to be your hardcore powder people, but there's going to be a bunch of hardcore can people. I know I'm going to send some of my subscribers there to vote.
All right, definitely. Well, I'm excited to see what you guys thought down below. Can or tub? Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. I do appreciate you watching this video. Make sure to drop a like if you guys did enjoy this or it helped you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing to Caffeineman as well. And I will catch you in my next video. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.